Let's do this.
Hi guys, and welcome to CoviDevotion with Whoa. All right, hold on. Let's start that again. Hi guys, and welcome to CoviDevotion with Beez. I am your host, Beez, and I nearly coughed up a lung or something. Okay, we're off to a great morning once again. I hope everyone had a great night's sleep. And I'm just saying, I just want to say that I feel pretty good today. I'm going to go straight into it and tell you that the topic of today is, or the topic of this CoviDevotion today is called The Nation, or titled The Nation, the Reason, The Nation, the Reason, and the Season. I thought I was going to do it to make it easy for me to remember, but it seems that it's more of a tongue twister than anything. The nation, the reason, the season. And the focus passage, or the Bible passage that we're looking at specifically today, is Matthew chapter 10, verse 1 to 6. And this is where Jesus, while he's still on earth, decides to send out his disciples. He sends out the 12. And so we're going to read the Bible passage first. So I'm just going to, that's one thing I forgot, to bring the mic a bit closer here. So hopefully you can hear me. Okay. So this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 1 to 6. Topic of discussion, the nation, the reason, the season. Okay, CoviDevotion with Beez. I'm your host, Beez. The reason why I had to do that is because I don't know if any of that picked up in the microphone. So, all right, here we go. So we've got Jesus sends out the 12. So chapter 10, verse 1. Jesus called his 12 disciples to him and gave them authority to drive out impure spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. Okay, drive out evil spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. Then these are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon and his brother Andrew, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Okay. Verse 5, these 12 sent out with the following instructions. These 12 were sent out with the following instructions. Do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. So this is what Jesus Christ is instructing them. Now, the reason why I wanted to speak on this and do a CoviDevotion on this is because it's really important for us to understand that when God sends us out, as he says, I want you to be part of this experience of building the kingdom. I want you to be my ambassadors. I want you to go and share my love. I want you to go and, do and build the kingdom and draw people closer to me. I want you to do this. And when he empowers us to do this, this is not how he does it. It's not just go and hope for the best. Or it's not, go ahead, we'll see what happens, and then come back and, report to me later. There are key things that I feel that God gives us. There's the nation, the reason, and the season. God gives us, and we'll go one at a time on which I think, try to describe to you what I mean by each. So the nation is God will handpick the people he wants you to connect with. God will hand choose or select either the community, the nation, the person to be that ambassador for Jesus Christ too. It's not that he's going to go random. It's not, he is very intentional. I believe that Jesus is very intentional on who he wants to pick, for us to minister to or for us to provide support to. We hear about, the Damascus experience, and then, Jesus handpicked someone to go and support Saul in his conversion. We also hear about the disciple Philip that was handpicked to go and speak to the Ethiopian just for that instance. Right. And so one thing we need to be assured about is that God is not just random and based on chance. He's intentional. And he's saying, there is someone that I've already picked for you, or a group that I've already picked for you. I have a lot more hope. Like daunting as it may be, me going into prison ministry next year, I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm hoping that God can use me, but I'm at peace in knowing that God is saying, hey, I've called you to be in this, to minister to these people for this season of your life. We'll get into season in a second, but for me, I need to trust that God has handpicked the people that I need to, and God has prepared the way in that sense. So the first one is the nation. In this particular passage, he's saying, go to the lost sheep of Israel. What I love about this idea is that God has already laid the foundation. God hasn't gone yet. God hasn't intentionally gone yet to the Gentiles or the Samaritans. So for me, what gives me hope is that God is not going to send us to a place that he already hasn't gone before. What he has done is, reminds me, is in Matthew chapter 5, we've got the Sermon on the Mount. We've got the Beatitudes where God teaches the congregation, the multitudes, and he's already laid this foundation. And what he's called, and by the way, Jesus by this time has already performed miracles. He's exorcised demons. He's healed many. He's healed the lame, the blind, the lepers. He's healed. So people know he can do this. So what I like about his instruction to the disciples, and he's like, go to the people that already know me, go to the people that I've already ministered to, and basically what I want you to do is validate who I am. Just continue to be that demonstration and solidify who I am to these people. I am the healer, and I am the salvation and the refuge from any struggle, any illness, any demon, right? So what he's called them to do is go and the people specifically, he's saying the lost sheep of Israel. He's saying the people that think they know me, but may not have experienced me. I need you to go to them. Before you go to anyone else, I need you to go to them. So the nation, God will choose a nation. God will choose a person. God will choose, he'll be very intentional on who he's picking. And once again, it's not about chance. The second thing I want to talk to you, or the second thing is, when God sends us out, there's the nation, then there's a reason, right? And let's talk about this idea of reason. God's reasoning and his intention and his method and his why is all on him. We need to trust in that. We need to trust that there is a particular reason why he's saying, I need you to go and minister to these people. But in this passage, and what I like about this is in verse 4, I think, he's saying, no. In verse 5, there's a specific instruction that says the 12 were sent out with the following instruction: do not go among the Gentiles and the Samaritans. Do not. I love when God shows us his mission and what he wants us to do. He also gives us a boundary, or he also gives us instructions on what we shouldn't do. Because for me, I personally, that will help us. That will help us be successful in the ministry that we're placed in, right? He's saying, don't go to the Samaritans, don't go to the Gentiles. You're not ready for that. Why? Because I know what you have in your heart. When he starts to interact with Samaritans, when he meets the woman at the well, the disciples, he did it by himself, because I'm pretty sure that the disciples already had a bias towards the Samaritans. These guys were brought up Jewish, right? And so with the Jewish culture, the traditions and the customs, they also grew up with not a hate, but a history of animosity towards the Samaritan people. And so he goes, I haven't begun ministering to the Samaritans yet. I haven't begun intentionally ministering to the Gentiles yet. So I'm not going to send you out there. I'm not going to send you out there because I haven't been out there first. And that really gives me hope that God is not going to send me out into a place where he hasn't already had victory in, that he hasn't already laid the foundations in. For me, what solidifies in this is that God is going and putting me into a place where he's gone before. He's laid the foundation, and all I need to do is validate what he's doing, or validate what he has done in my life, so they may be drawn unto him, right? He's not throwing me in the deep end. If he is, what I love about that, he's not going to throw me in the deep end. He's going to walk out on water and then say, Beez, come and walk out on water, and you're not going to sink, right? Because I'm already out here. I love that idea. So he's given us the nation, he's given us the reason, and in that reason, he's also given us safety measures for us to be protected. so we can thrive in the ministry that he's put us in. He's saying, do this, go out in this. I've given you 2 tools. I've given you the tools to heal and to exorcise demons. I have not given you I haven't given you the tool yet to go and preach. I haven't given you the tools to educate. I haven't given you that yet. All I want you to do is be a reflection of me, be an ambassador of my hope, my love, and my grace. Show them who I am and heal people, because that's what's going to draw them to me. That's how you're going to be used to draw people to me, right? You're not going to teach them. You're not going to school them. You're going to heal them. So go. I love that God has given them the reason and is intentional about that. Hopefully it makes me think, well, not hopefully it makes us think, right? The reason why God has given us. And for me, a lot of the time, especially in the Bible, he doesn't tell people to go and educate and go and convince, but he goes, go and love. Go and show love to others so they may be drawn unto me. And I'm talking about Jesus. Third one. So we've got the nation, the reason. We've got the nation, the reason, and now we've got the season. This is super important for me. And this actually hits me really hard. And not hard, but really hits me. And this is found in verse 4. And this is about God's intentionality and still willing to use us, irrespective of the circumstances that we might be in. It says here in verse 4, Simon the Zealot and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. God gave him the power to heal the sick. God gave him the power to exorcise demons. And God sent him out there to provide hope to other people. What I love about that is that even though God knew that Judas was broken, even though God knew that Judas was struggling, even though God knew that eventually Judas would betray him, he still equipped him, he still empowered him, and he said, in this season, you will be an ambassador for me. In this season, you will be love and hope, and you will heal in my name. And funny enough, though Judas at the end betrayed Jesus, it's undeniable that Judas wasn't used to draw men and women unto God. That gives me a lot of hope that even in the midst of my brokenness, even though I might not know what my future is, God knows what my future is. And he's still saying, Beez, in your brokenness, in your, in your sin, in your failures, I'm still going to go and use you. I'm still going to go and work in you and for you and through you to draw other people closer to me, right? Because when you've said in this season you want to be a willing vessel, I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to celebrate that, and I'm going to showcase you to the world. I'm going to showcase what I'm doing in your life right now for this season, so other people will have that hope, and other people may potentially want to be drawn unto me because of you in this season of your life. And so, like, for me, like, I've got there's a brother, I won't mention his name, but when I started going to Parramatta Church, this guy was one, I guess, I don't know if he was baptized or not, but he was one of the leaders in the church, and he was really innovative. He was a trailblazer. He would do something new, and not just in church, but like in his life. He was one of those guys that people hadn't thought about it until afterwards. Like, he was the one that was so innovative that, like, he was the first person to have an animated Facebook profile. No, not Facebook profile. He had a profile pic on MySpace. He was one of the first people I knew to have an animated picture, right? Everyone else has still got these little photos and stuff. And for me, he really, like, through the games that he used to run and the way that he would use his innovation, like, in ministry, like, I'll call it ministry, the work of God. Even in all of that drew me to church. He made church fun. He made church exciting. He made church really cool, right? Then he went on in a season of his life, and he no longer goes to church. And I think the last I heard, he doesn't believe in God. But for me, I really appreciate that in the season of his life, he was willing to be used by God to draw me closer to God. I have a strong relationship with God, now because of his ministry, because in that season, he was willing to do some awesome things that brought me and kept me in church. And I really appreciate that. And and God is doing the same thing for me, that he's saying, your past is your past, your future is your future. But right now, with the relationship that you have with me and the willingness that you have to be an ambassador for me, I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm going to celebrate that. And I'm going to send you into the world so you can showcase that, so other people can be drawn to me because of you in this season. So God has given us a nation, a reason, and a season. The personal application, or the thing that I want to walk away, I would encourage you to walk away with this, is this. God has given us the nation, the reason, and the season. All we got to do is keep believing. I can imagine everyone watching this, they just rolled their eyes and like, oh, Beez, that's so lame. Hey, God has given us a nation, a reason, and a season. All we need to do is keep believing. Because what believing in him will do will transform our lives. What believing in him will do will help us be mended by him from the inside out on a daily basis, consistently and continuously. What believing in him will do is will give us the assurance that when he sends us, he's sending us to a nation for a reason in a particular season. And we just need to trust in that. We don't need to, it's that whole thing. And I'm going to kill this point where it says God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. He equips us by saying, just believe in me. And then when I send you out, know that I'm sending you out to a particular nation for a particular reason, for a specific season. And for me, I celebrate that. I celebrate that God has gone before me. God has gotten victory before me. And he's saying, Beez, I'm going to put you here just so you can celebrate and draw other people closer to me. So I want you to go and do that. And I hope that this is a word of encouragement to you. If you're really worried or scared, or you're going and you're feeling challenged, or you're feeling impressed, or you're feeling empowered to go out, right? Don't be stressed. Don't worry about it. God's got you. God's already there. God's coming out, calling you out onto the water and saying, come walk out on water with me. Because I'm already there. I'm not going to throw you into deep end or deep water. I'm not going to abandon you in there. I'm already there. Come out. And that really encourages me, because God's already done the hard yards. God's already laid the foundation. All he wants us to do is go out and celebrate him. So let's celebrate him in love. Let us celebrate his power to heal, and his power to have victory over demons. And what I mean by that, in our world today, we are struggling with so many demons. We are struggling with so many things that separate us from God. What God is calling us to do is saying, go and be an ambassador of me. Show them my love, my mercy, my compassion, my grace, and heal that in my name. So people will be drawn unto him. Let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this morning and another opportunity to reconnect with you. Thank you for reminding us that you do the work. You're the one that does the work. You go before us. You pave the way. You break down any wall. You take care of any obstacle or trial or challenge, even before we face them. And you give us victory. So Lord, I just pray that as you give us the nation, the reason, and the season, all we do is just keep believing. Keep on relying on you, trusting you, so we can be willing to go out for you. Give us an amazing day. I thank you for what you've done. I thank you for what you're doing now, and I thank you for what you're going to do in our lives today. Be with us. I ask this all in your loving name. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me for COVID Devotion with Beez on Instagram Live, Facebook even. Thank you for joining me on Instagram Live, oh my gosh, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube Live. If you have any comments or any questions, please send them through. I will get back to you. If you have, and once again, if you have any friends or people that you know who might benefit from a message like this, it's not about me, it's all about him. So I'd encourage you to go and let them know. Once again, they don't have to like it, but they have to subscribe and turn the notifications so they know when these come back on. All right. I'll see you tomorrow morning for COVID Devotion with Beez. I've lost count. It's all right. But until then, until tomorrow at 9 a.m., please stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out. Much love. I look nice and happy. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, it's a good day. I had a great night's sleep. Luna's walking around, very curious at the moment. So, yeah. Anyway, got to get to work. God bless everyone. See you later.